Let's go. It's your host, Nick Perrette, and you're listening to Commercial Roofing Radio. This is the hottest radio station in the roofing world. We are your favorite place to hang out, learn, and shoot the shit. So sit back in your truck's chair, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome back to Commercial Roofing Radio. Our next guest is my good buddy, David Estes. What's up, David?
Not much, buddy. How are you?
Good, man. So, all right, David is part of the elite roofing team here in Denver, Colorado, one of the highest rated companies in the state. He's been doing sales for a long time. He did business development. He's doing commercial sales now. An absolute rock star. He's so good that he even trains other companies and salespeople for the Roofing Academy and how to improve their sales processes and procedures. Like I said, absolute rock star. Give you a little background. Big Rams fan, big Cubs fan. And when we recorded the Start Build Grow show, he was one of the highest downloaded episodes of all time. So we got the great David Estes, man. What's going on?
Not much, man. Just out here enjoying this beautiful Colorado weather, getting a little hot, and I'm excited to see what we're going to do today on the show.
Heck yeah, man. Well, hey, I appreciate you coming in. Like I said, you're the first guest to come into the new office space, so I appreciate it. What do you think of the new spot?
Man, this new spot is dope. Like it's, I feel like I'm in like a loft I used to live in when I first moved to Denver in 2010. But yeah, this would be a cool house, cool spot to work at for sure.
Again, I appreciate you coming by. All right, so I have a couple sports questions, just kind of bring in, get us flowing a little bit. All right, so the first question is, in big moments in life, you always remember where you're at. All right, where were you when the Cubs won the World Series, and where were you when the Rams won the Super Bowl?
When the Rams won the Super Bowl, I was at my own house. No, I take that back. I was at Randy Brothers' house. The owner of my company, and we were out there with a group of friends just watching that Super Bowl. There was a opponent's fan. We won't talk about who we beat, but the one of the opponent's fans was there. I had to rub it in her face a little bit. And then when the Cubs won the World Series, I was at a bar here, local Cubs bar. Wyandotte something. I forget the exact name of it, but man, it was a heck of a celebration. Something I love to do, and I've got to go up to the Wrigley Field area. I couldn't afford a ticket at the time, but I was up in Wrigley Field for Game 5. I'm sorry if I got the game number wrong, but dude, it's just fun to be around those group of fans when you're winning a game like that. It's awesome.
Yeah, especially after all those years of not getting it done. To finally get it done, man. Johnny that works with us, he's a huge Cubs fan too, so he definitely remembers where he was at during that time. So, today we're really going to be talking about, hey, how to be an elite commercial roofing salesperson, right? You know a thing about that. You might work for Elite, but you're also an elite commercial roofing salesperson, right? So tell us a little bit about, your sales career, how you've developed, and I guess, how you've developed, right? What's really helped you get to this point?
Yeah, so it's kind of a weird story. I've never had a sales job before in my life. I worked at an estimator behind a computer for a long time in the flooring business. Randy gave me an opportunity to do business development because he knew I like to talk to people. I really do. I'll talk to a squirrel. It's kind of my little pitch. Like, if you want to, let's go talk to a squirrel and I'll have a good conversation. But, I just try to be the friendly, honest guy in the whole situation. I don't really have like an exact sales pitch. Ryan Groth over there at Sales Transformation Group has done a great job of coaching me. I definitely take some nuggets from what he says. I've taken a couple nuggets from Contractor Coach Pro when we went to go visit those guys for a little bit. Mm-hmm. So it's been nice to take different nuggets from different people. As David Estes sits, I don't have an exact sales process. I show up to the customer. I give them my honest opinion. I never, ever, ever lie. And I go from there. And then I just kind of understand what they need, understand their wants. And then I try to solve their problem. And Ryan Groth helped me come up with a good saying that I love solving people's roofing frustrations. And that's where I really enjoy my job, is help solving those problems that people can't find.
And first off, I apologize for the one mic. I wasn't smart enough to be able to figure out how to get both of them to work. So eventually, one day, I hope I'm able to. But until now, we'll be going back and forth. No, you've been unbelievable in terms of what you've accomplished in the sales side, right? With business development, now going into the commercial, really helping building that out for Elite. You know, for other people out there who are trying to get into the commercial space, or maybe they're not where they want to be at a sales environment, how would you suggest splitting up, nurturing relationships to maximize benefit for the future versus trying to get quicker wins and stuff that might be not as long term?
Yeah, the big thing is just always be networking is one of my big things, and you're always introducing yourself to new people all of the time because you never know when the right opportunity is going to pop. I mean, I've got luck with commercial real estate agents, different like contractors. But yeah, always be networking is my big thing. And then the sales will come once you get to know it, and then rely on your reps a lot. As a commercial roof salesman, you have to know the whole gamut of roofing. You can't just know just flat roofing because apartments have shingles on them sometimes too. So getting to know manufacturers, reps, getting to understand the products, that way you can have intelligent conversation with your owners has been pretty clutch in what I do.
And I like that you mentioned networking, and one of our previous guests mentioned exposure, right? Exposure to people, skills, all that kind of stuff. And I think one thing that's great about networking is the exposure, right? For me, and I want you to kind of fill in the gaps here where I missed, but for me, money time is time spent in front of a prospect, right? It's not filling out contracts, it's not doing all this kind of stuff. Money time is time spent in front of prospects. That's where you want to be spending as much time as possible. That's why networking is so great. Can you kind of fill in the gaps there of what I may have missed?
Yeah, no. So the networking is where you're at, and it almost gets to the point where people just trust you because you've been networking with them so long that the bid process kind of goes away. You kind of build that relationship, build the trust from the get-go. And then you're sometimes not even bidding against other people because they just respect what you've done. And it's not over the night. I don't expect anybody to say, hey, I'm listening to what Dave's saying and I'm just going to go out and do that. This has been a 7-year process.
Right.
I'm not just landing these deals because I've just started talking to people yesterday. It's a long game. It's a long closure game. You're not going to close anything overnight. But yeah, just stay in front of the right networking groups. I mean, there's hundreds of networking groups, different people, commercial real estate agent groups. Just stay in front of those people all the time and get to know them as a face. I had a guy that actually sells tortillas here in town, Richie, the tortilla man, and he was in one of my networking groups. And he says, Dave, don't expect to sell nothing this year here. Maybe not even next year. But after the 3rd year you show up, they're kind of like, hey, man, this guy keeps showing up, keeping supporting us. We probably should start supporting that guy, So
Exactly, yeah.
it's a long game. And stay in front of those customers, keep networking with them, show up and do what they ask. Like if they call you for a leak, you have to be there within 24 hours.
Yeah.
Show that you care, show that you want to help, and that goes a long ways as well.
Yeah, that was really well said. Because if I own a commercial property and you keep showing up to my building, you're making small talk. You remember what I like. We're talking about ways you can help me out, stuff like that. You keep showing up. And I'm not even paying you, and you keep showing up, and you keep showing up, right? And then when I finally give you an opportunity, you execute on that opportunity and put the customer first. And you keep doing that.
That's my game. Don't ruin my whole game, but that is my game.
What, execute? Execute is your
Yeah, execute and follow up. I'll tell you a little quick story real quick. Had a kid come knock on my door at my own house. I know this isn't commercial roofing, but just give you an idea. He came trying to sell me some Vivant cameras for my front door and my back door. Yeah. So he comes. I said, hey man, some stuff's going on at the office. I can't make it. Can't make a decision today, but follow up with me next week. I'm a sales guy trying to test this kid's water. Never heard from him again. Yeah, exactly. So if you're showing up to these people, don't just show up one time and never come back. Like you got to come back and be in their face and appreciate what they're doing for you and what you do for them.
And another great point with the follow up. I was doing some research, just sales stuff, and looking for stuff. We got some stuff going on that's putting together, and it said I think 44% or 48% of people they don't follow up. It's one touch point and they're done.
I've heard rumors it's up to 90% of people never follow up past the first time. That's madness. Like the way I look at it is if you're asking me for my time and my professional opinion, I'm going to follow up with you until you tell me to stop following up with you. You've asked me to do something. Now I'm just asking for you to communicate back to me if I've won the job or not. Exactly. So I will not stop following up until they tell me to stop.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think though, as people, we're always afraid to like piss somebody off, right? We're like, oh, we don't want to bother them. You know what I mean? So what's the proper way to follow up? Is there any kind of process that you should follow, or do you just need to get out of your own head and pick up the phone or go over to their place and go talk to them?
I do both. I pick up the phone sometimes. I email sometimes. It just depends on where I'm at in that day. But I don't think there's any inappropriate way to follow up. Just send a quick email, say, hey, just checking in kind of thing. Call them, leave them a voicemail. Just always just keep doing it. But I don't follow up every day. You know, when I first send out a proposal, I'll follow up within a week. Yep. And then I'll follow up every couple of weeks, and then every month, and then every month until you make your decision. Because, you know, some of these big apartments or big commercial buildings that aren't cheap budgets. Mm-hmm. So these people sometimes don't have a couple $100,000 just sitting around. They have to save up some money and stuff. So, but yeah, that's kind of the concept I abide by. Just always do it until they tell you to stop. Mm-hmm. Or tell you to move forward with the project. Is what you hope for. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, until you get the win. No, I like that. So, what about your mindset in terms of strategic approach? It's interesting as a salesperson, you're basically your own business owner, right? You're running your own business, basically, right? That's what it is. Like, you as a salesperson, when you have enough respect, there's not a lot of people like telling you what to do or anything like that. It's like, hey, go make it happen. From there, you paint the canvas. Mm-hmm. What does your canvas look like? What's your approach? What's your mindset? Are you just trying to get big wins? Are you just trying to get any win? Like, how do you do that? Because there's so many different things and approaches you can really take in commercial sales. It's crazy.
Yeah, there is a lot of approaches. You know, the kind of the goofy part is I almost look for the small job first, if that makes sense. I don't go looking out for that big $1 million job instantly. Like, I feel you have to show a customer what you can do from the get-go. So doing that starts with service. You know, running a good service department and getting your crews out there to fix that annoying leak. I had a perfect customer that I've been servicing for 3 straight years, had a ballasted roof, it was really a struggle to find a leak, ended up 3 years later, after so many leaks, he had such an important business that water couldn't get in there. I can't get into the business. But after 3 years of servicing this guy, he's like, dude, I'm tired of chasing these leaks. Like, I just need to replace this roof. And that's what it took. You know, mm-hmm. I didn't even have to bid against nobody else. I was his service contractor and just being there to show up. So that's kind of like my day, you know, just waiting. I don't wait for phone calls. I being in this for 7 years, I kind of just get phone calls coming in on leaks, water extract. You know, in Denver, when we don't have rain so much, the people forget about their leaks. Yeah. And then when it rains, then you get this big influx of people like, oh man, I do remember that leak that I had the other day. Exactly. So then you get a lot of phone calls from that. And then you gotta set aside time to just network and reach out to old people, reach out to your old bids. Randy has us starting this thing called Follow Up Friday, nice. Where we just every Friday we reach out to a couple bids that we had sent that week and just check in and see and then we have a little group text with their whole residential guys and the commercial guys and just showing our wins for the week. So Follow Up Friday has been a big success. Mm-hmm. Makes people remember to follow up as well.
Mm-hmm. So that brings me up to my next point then is actually about collaboration with the team. So you mentioned, you have the group chat and stuff like that. I mean, how do you guys hype each other up? I mean, do you guys help each other out at all? Like, is it important to have other salespeople at your company that you connect with, or is it whatever because it's, you're kind of on an island a little bit?
Yeah, so I do have one other sales guy, Clayton. He's fantastic. We do take the team approach a lot. We feel I have a total separate personality than Clayton does. Any HOA or any large apartment deal, we sit in it together. That way, if there's conflicting people, like some person at the HOA may not get along with me or think I'm weird. Some people might think Clayton's a little bit strange. So we do it as a team approach. And it's been fantastic to be together. If there's a little hiccup that I maybe said or something that I don't understand or how to get an answer back, it's great to turn the floor over to them and see how they answer the question. And then you learn from other people too, right? You learn what their pitch is like. Having the residential sales guys is great too, because my team likes to learn, and I'm like a coach for them. Like I can teach them what they're out there doing and give them ideas on how to fix it. Or if they need my assistance, they can come visit with me and kind of get an idea of what I feel they should do to make that customer happy and give them a good opportunity to fix their repairs.
So what about continuous development? How are you always improving your skills? Obviously, you got to this point, and you had to learn a lot to get here. I mean, you did things like top rep and stuff. It sounds like. I mean, are you just trying to stay fresh, connect with manufacturers, or like how do you stay sharp and keep improving those skills?
Yeah, I mean, I don't, again, Jim Johnson and Chuck, I'm not saying this bad, or Randy or Ryan, any of you guys, but this is it's a nugget. You go to those things and you pull certain things that you think, oh man, I could use that. I could use that little piece, or I could do that. Because there's some times out there you feel like you could sell every single person, and sometimes you're just not the right fit. And then that's a big thing. So yeah, I really just, if I'm not the right fit for that customer, it's pretty kind of good to have ADD, I guess, because I kind of just forget and move on. But yeah, and then that's just my main game, is pulling nuggets and understanding the concept, and then dedicating some time to network. If it's not weekly, at least every other week, just to follow back up with somebody, swing back by their office, drop off something, say hi. It's just always nice to be a fresh face, and it kind of changes up your day versus, you're out bidding, putting numbers together, putting estimates together, climbing on these hot roofs. It's sometimes nice just to walk around some days, be in the air conditioning, and talk to your networking people, and see how their day's going, and just check in. What's kind of a little bit strange about me, once you're wearing your roofing shirt, they already know what you do, right? I don't ever talk about what I do when I'm in front of people.
Absolutely.
I don't, like, they don't care that I'm a roofer. I want to get to know you as a person. Like, how many kids do you got? What'd you do with your weekend with your kids? I like to get to know people as people. That way we're partnerships later, and they understand that I'm a good person, and that good people help out good people.
Well said, man. I like that. So that brings me to my next question too. Then is what is the David Estes presentation? Is there any marketing materials? Are you taking me through the slides, or you just completely kind of removing that? You're getting to know them, and then from there you're just kind of asking questions about the properties or whatever it might be.
So it depends on my customer. If it's a newer customer, I have a presentation. We do a great job at Sumo Quote. I think Sumo Quote does a fantastic thing of like showing pictures and showing what you're saying that you're doing, like, and having arrows pointing to their problems.
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty neat how that works. That goes a pretty long way. And I set myself up during the job walk. I'll have customers up there with me. Like, I was just on this church last week, and this old man that could barely get up the steps was up there with me walking the roof, and I'm just showing him his problems. And so he can see that I'm not just making this stuff up. I'm like showing him what's going on. And it just, the respect that I get, that I'm giving my honest opinion and just showing him the issues, it goes a really long way. And he pretty much told me, hey, I got to get 2 other bids, but I'm going to just throw those in the trash, because the person that you are goes a long way. Don't be like this weird sketch sounding dude, like you're just trying to make money for your family. Like, another HOA I'm going to this week, the couple of roofers said, hey, we got to replace these whole roofs. The roofs are in perfectly fine shape. They had a bad thing on the way the water drains. Is the problem? You ask this person and said, hey, where's these things leaking at? She tells me directly, right from the get-go. My roof is leaking right here. I said, wow, let me go check that out. And then when I went to go check out this issue, every single one of these issues on this building was the exact same. And that's the only problem. Fix her problem. Don't say you need a new roof. Just fix the lady's problem.
How much money do you think you saved her there?
Well, my bid's around, if I had to guess, $70,000-$80,000 minimum. But you got to have I tell people I have a heart, right? You have to understand that you are making people spend money. Why make them spend this oblivious amount of money just to put money in your pocket? Just do what you need to do and get the customer watertight.
Obviously we've had some interesting times, right? We've had the whole COVID situation that they locked us down. We had, when you're looking at Denver, no hail, right? In a few years, it seems like. And so for contractors out there who are also going through, some rougher times, what suggestions do you have, whether it's as a sales perspective or at a business perspective, on how to, whether it's be flexible or what to do differently or perspective, any of that stuff, really?
Just to be different, you got to do service. Like, you have to do the small jobs. You're going I sold 4,200. I sold $589. Like, I don't care the size of the job. Let's just get there and patch some stuff. The service jobs, you can make a good margin. You're taking like little base hits to get the big one, but just keep doing service, and then the good stuff will come later. right now, roofing is just a fun treat, all construction, I think, just waiting on materials. But something so simple as a roofing screw is almost impossible to find right now. So just be honest with your customers and just be like, hey guys, I'm going to need a box of screws on this. It sounds like we might be a month out. I probably can't do anything for a month, but I might be able to come up here and temporarily fix this to hold you over. And I'll have to come back and do my permanent repair later once my materials come in. So don't be afraid to like tempt something in, to just do your best effort at that and then come back later and do the final repair. Is something I think is a little bit different that we could stand out and do.
Yeah, you keep bringing me to my next question, because that was going to be my next statement. Was going to be, wow, with the material shortage and all that kind of stuff, you don't really know how to handle that. So it seems like that's what you're doing, is you're temporarily fixing some situations on the roof, and then from there, waiting for the products to come in, letting the customer know. But what about that's more, I would say, at a production standpoint, right? You already got that closed. What about people who you are trying to close? What's your message to them?
My message to them is just pretty much, hey guys, we're in tough times with COVID backing stuff up, and I'm tired of blaming COVID. I'll just be honest. But what we're coming to find out is, if any of you are from Denver or driving through our skyline, there's 20 tower cranes standing up right here. The new construction business is what's really drowning us, and demand for apartments and all that stuff. The demand is what they're claiming is that just we can't keep up with how much people want. So just be, like I said, the key is being honest from the get-go, what the scenario is, how your game plan is to fix it. And once they trust you, they'll understand that you're going to come back and do it right. I've had a leak that I've tried 3 times to fix it in the exact same spot. I'm just like, guys, well, this is insane. Like, I brought my manufacturer's rep up and said, hey, you had me use your product. Yeah. This is what's going on. Why is this thing still leaking? Yeah. Well, after a long time of getting the reps out there, I determined there's too much moisture underneath the roof. So I got to basically re-roof this because there's too much water getting in. It's these old roofs these built-up roofs are meant to last 50 years. Well, this thing's about 65 years old, and it's kind of reached its max. So too much water's getting in from somewhere else, not where we're thinking it's coming in. We just kind of we got to redo it. So it's kind of knowing, part of this game is knowing the systems that are there, knowing what you're looking at, and understanding, and like I said, leaning on your manufacturer people to help you out in situations you don't know. And I mean, I bring my installers with me. I bring whoever. Perfect situation. I have 3 techs or 4 techs that do my service for me. Mike Medina, Jason, and Jose and G. And I couldn't find 5. There was 5 leaks on this building, and I found 1 of the 5. So I was like, hey guys, it's all under ballast rock. I said, hey team, I need you guys to come up here with me, bring some shovels. We need to start moving some stuff. Just getting another set of eyes on it, and a guy that's been doing this for years helped me find the 4 other leaks within a few minutes of being up there. I was like, oh man, I didn't even look over there for that. Just learning from other people. I think that's why I like commercial roofing is I may be considered a master of it, if you want to say that, but I don't ever want to call myself a master of it, because if you become a master and you stop learning, it becomes boring and monotonous. I always like to be learning and absorbing what other people are telling me and how to fix it. That way my job is always fresh for me and enjoyable.
I do like that, actually, the master statement you made there, because we just hit 5 years. So I was kind of thinking about, what if I learned in 5 years, right? And so I remembered that 10,000 hour rule, right? They say it takes you 10,000 hours to become a master at something, right? So I took my 5 years and I averaged like 40 or 50 hours a week or whatever it was. And I'm at like 13,000 hours of running a business. And I still have no idea what I am doing. You know what I mean? So yeah, I can't even figure out how to plug in 2 microphones. Think about this. I've ran how many episodes of podcasts? I still couldn't get this thing connected today. You know what I mean? So it's like, stay humble, right? Stay curious, I think is a big thing, right? You absolutely have that confidence, but you want to be, humble, but be curious, right? Be curious. Always be listening, right? I heard another quote that was like, a statement closes the mind, a question opens the mind.
Correct.
So I'm about that.
There's some goofy situation, I don't know how many people know, but Randy has a business partner, Cody, and there'll be some situations that pop up, and I'll be like, hey man, how do I address this? Like, what do I do? And it's crazy when you hear it from a different mindset and just get like, if you take it from approach of being, is this going to make this guy mad? Or if you point the direction towards that guy, just how a different approach to ask a question can just change the total vibe of how you're saying off. I may be a guy that's like more blunt, I guess, or more upfront and just like straight to the point. But if you kind of reverse the question and kind of point the questions back at them, it's crazy the different responses that you can get. But I would never learn that if it wasn't for somebody else teaching me to say, hey, switch the way that you're saying this, and it'll come off differently than just being blunt and to the point.
Yeah, that's interesting. So would you say, so is that where you kind of struggle though, is where people are more straight to the point, not trying to have any kind of like conversation really with you? Is that like the harder stages for you, would you say?
Having a conversation with me is not very hard.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I am to the
Oh, you're to the point. Gotcha. Okay, I thought you were saying that you struggle like if people aren't like kind of, because you're very talkative, small talk, you can connect with anybody. Because for me, that's where I struggle, right? Is where the people that, you know, I'll be giving this what I think is this great talk with them, blah blah blah, and they're like, no, all I want to know is this. That's where I drop the ball.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like, well, I guess to give you my whole spiel. You don't like my whole spiel? Like, how could I do better there? This is a sales perspective. What do you think I could do better? I should ask them. I should reflect their questions back to them, would you say? Or what should I do to handle that situation?
Well, a lot of things that you just need to do is just listen. And I think listening, it's Ryan Groth will tell you this too. It's a struggle for me, you know, and I want to lead the conversation, but you need to let the other person that you're interviewing lead the conversation and just listen to their needs. Clayton had somebody that had a frustration the other day, and he just let them puke it out, you know, just get it out. Just let me know what's going on. Once you let them just let you know what's going on, it makes what you tell them back a lot simpler and a lot easier for them to understand. So like I said, it's different for every single person, right? I've got a property manager, maintenance guy that he's up there. He's like, David, this keeps leaking. How do I ever trust you for anything you ever tell me anymore? He's just 100% joking with me, but you just got to understand how to play different people's personality. I guess that's a big part in this sales game is understanding who you're talking to, understanding the different personalities of people, different races, different cultures, different whatever you want to say. If somebody you're talking to is from a different culture than you kind of need to understand, like, hey, this is appropriate to say to this culture, this isn't, because every culture is different, you know? It's kind of hard to explain that, but it's the truth, right? Like so knowing your audience helps. And then just like I said, relationships, and then those build for a long time. I had one of my biggest customers the other day. He said, if I don't give you something, call me an effer right after I'm done, and then force me to get it. I'm just like, all right, well, if you're asking me to do this. So I was at his office yesterday, and I called him an effer, and I was like, hey, well, you didn't give me this information. You told me to do that.
You were giving this information.
Yeah. So you just got to know your audience, listen, and have a good mind, and just remember what the conversations you have with people. Because like you were saying earlier, when you go to network and not talking about roofing all the time. I don't remember every conversation I have. That's what Google's for. Like I have my calendar, and I said, hey, I talked to Joe Johns yesterday, and Joe said he liked to go on a barbecue this weekend. Well, next time I follow up with him, I'm going to say, hey, Joe, how was your barbecue this week? You know, I don't remember that, but just write it down, and that way you can connect with these people.
Exactly. And that's huge. I'm glad that you mentioned that too. So if you guys are using a CRM or whatever it might be, right? And you have the notes section. The notes section doesn't have to be just for the issues that they're having, right? On the account, on the contact, what do they like?
Yep.
How many kids do they have, right? What sports are they in? All that kind of stuff, right? What do they actually care about, right? Have those conversations with them, get to know them. All right, so we're going to be transitioning into a game here pretty shortly, right? And then after that, what we have is you have to leave us with either some kind of enlightenment. It could be a quote, a life lesson, a book suggestion, anything. But before that, I got one more question before the game. All right, so you look great, man. You lost a bunch of weight. What kind of impact has that had on your career, your life? Because, I mean, you're looking great, man, and I'm very impressed.
Yeah, you know, there are little health issues going on, you know, but I decided to tag team with a buddy of mine that I've known here in Denver for 10, 11 years, one of Randy's college team roommates, and he lives in my town in Highlands Ranch down there. And I said, hey, I need a partner in this working out game. And I'm just not, maybe need a little motivation, somebody to talk to or something. But he's like, hell, if you want to do it, I'll do it with you. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we started working out at 6 a.m. in the morning, which I'm not gonna lie, sucks to get up and like actually do it. But if you wait till the afternoon, just for me personally, I was never gonna be an afternoon workout guy. Like I'd go home and crush a nap in the afternoon versus go to the gym, you know. So I wake up at 5:41 every morning, or on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, or whatever we're doing this week, you know, and just starting to work out. And I'm not saying I'm there trying to run a marathon. That's never going to be me. I'm not there trying to be Mr. Fitness Model standing on the stage, but I figured doing something is better than doing nothing. And I was doing nothing for a really long time. So building or getting, I guess, your immune system or your metabolism or whatever those words are, getting that back into shape. You know, if I've lost about a total of 22 pounds, I stopped eating ice cream as much, cut out some sweet tea. That stuff's so good, you know, but you got to cut it out. So that's helped a lot, you know, just changing your diet. I'm not here to tell you I am zero healthy, but just changing your attitude and changing your stuff does make you feel good. I swam this morning, you know, your skin feels like it's still stuck in chlorine, but you know, I got a little swimming in and sat in the sauna for 20 minutes and it wasn't crazy. You know, I wasn't out killing myself and I feel like crap, but I did something this morning, you know, which is better than just waking up and doing nothing that morning. So.
Amen to that, man. Well, I'm proud of you, man, and it's been a pleasure. I appreciate all the information you shared with us today. And now we're going to play a little bit of a game, all right? So are you ready to be a roofing millionaire is the game, all right? So you got two lifelines. You got the 50-50, right, which eliminates two of the wrong answers, leaving you with a 50% chance of getting it right. And then you have a phone a friend. So you can call anybody you want. If they don't answer, that sucks, all right? So to start, all right, question one. Kurt Warner, and you can't be looking over here. This is the first live one I've done, so I can't let you look over here. I'm going to turn down the brightness, too. I don't trust you. All right, Kurt Warner is the Super Bowl MVP or Super Bowl winning quarterback of the Rams. In 1995, he had no choice but to sign with an arena football team. What team did he sign with? Is it A, Tampa Bay Storm, B, Iowa Barnstormers, C, LA Kiss, or D, Philadelphia Soul?
Man, since I thought it was something in Canada, I'm going to be wrong. I'm going to guess the Tampa Bay team.
That is incorrect. I actually have seen Tampa Bay Storm play live, though, and it was okay. It was okay. But yeah, he was actually on B, Iowa Barnstormers, all right? So Elite Roofing is one of the highest rated companies in Colorado. How many 5-star reviews do you have? Is it A, 97 reviews?
No, that's not right.
B, 150 reviews? C, 375 reviews? Or D, 258 reviews?
I am the luckiest man alive, and I know that it's over 300, and you only gave me one that was over 300, so I'm going to go 373.
It looks like it is C. You are correct. 375. Congrats, man. And so, oh man, I might have blown one of the questions for you. So you might get this next one over here, right? But all right, before that one though, we got question 3. According to HubSpot, majority of salespeople felt this was the hardest part of the sales cycle. A, prospecting. B, qualifying. C, closing. Or D, following up.
I want to say qualifying.
It's A, prospecting. You know, what I don't get is I keep having guests come on here. They never use the lifelines. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're not 100% confident, why not just get rid of 2 of them? You know what I mean? I don't get it.
Deleted, changed his phone number, and he won't give me his new one, so I couldn't even call him. And in Hawaii, it's 2 a.m, so it doesn't count.
All right. Question 4. What percentage of salespeople quit after one follow-up? Is it A, 10%? Is it B, 35%? Is it C, 27%? Or D, 44%?
I think you said 44% earlier, so I'm going to say D.
I gave you that one. I thought it was a different episode that question was on. Rookie mistakes left and right today, folks.
I just thought I was listening. See that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You see, you're working on it. All right. The last question we have here is, the Cubs' first World Series was in A, 1901, B, 1907, or C, 1925, or D, 1933.
So it's 1907 and 1908. They went back to back.
Woo! Ooh, and that is correct. I love it, my friend. So you ended out in a pretty hot streak. So let's see here. You went 3 for 5. That's not too bad, man. So, hold on 1 second. I'm going to get off because no one's actually seen these before. So I'll make sure I actually give you one. Hold on. Make sure that mic doesn't fall on me.
Yeah, that one leg, but we're good.
Here we go. So this is.
Let's see.
I like big roofs, and I cannot lie. Let's go, baby. The man loves big roofs.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So thanks for playing. Yeah, that's nice, right? So we appreciate you coming in, man. It was we
You
do.
should have the song playing in the background.
Yeah, I need to, right? Well, we're gonna do a remix of it. I think we're gonna do a remix of it. But yeah, man. So we want to end just with quick enlightenment. So it could be a sales tip, it could be a quote, a book suggestion, a life lesson, whatever it might be. However you want to leave the viewers, and then we'll close it up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sad, and I don't really read books much. But I guess my going away point that I can't hammer home enough is be honest and follow up. I don't think it gets any simpler to that. New guys that kind of start, or we hear about new people coming to work for us, I kind of sit them down, and not for long, but I told them it takes 2 important things to win at this game: is communication and following up. If you can do those 2 things successfully, I think you'll be a successful person in the roofing business. And again, just give your honest opinion. Don't be out there forcing stuff. You don't need it. Do the stuff that you need to do, and just be a great person out there. And that's what the industry needs.
Amen, man. Well, hey, Estes, we appreciate you, my friend.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Everybody out there, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.